This is Talk Show Central RTV style. This is Royal. And tonight we have EC Going Politics. And guys, I hope you're ready because we got an awesome, amazing woman that's running for Congress out of District 15, or rather for you people in District 15, Vangela Churchill is here, folks. Let's hear it for Vangela Churchill. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm glad you're here. And so, wow, man, this is awesome. It's a treat to have you here. You are running for Congress. But before we get into it, how was your day?
It was good. Preparing for the upcoming week with forums almost every day. So,
Oh, man.
yeah,
It's coming to, this week, and then this is it, right? This week, this coming week, and then Monday it starts, right?
That's
Early
right.
voting starts Monday. So 1 week till do whatever you got to do. And then the votes start coming in. And, wow. So this is you're in the 2-minute drill. The Cowboys
That's right.
2-minute drill. You're in the red zone. You're in the red zone and you're going to score the touchdown. So,
That's right.
So, wow. Awesome. Yeah. And so, let's just get into it. Get into it. So, you were running for Congress in District 15. So tell us. Hold on. I think somebody is saying hi here. Hey, Rosie, how's it going? You know Rosie?
Hi, Rosie. Yes,
Cool.
I do.
All right, man.
Great friend.
Great friend. Hey, well, great. It's great to have friends and great people that's going to support you and come into the polls and vote for you.
Right.
You're running on the Republican ticket, right? And the whole bit. What areas can people vote for you?
Well, we're in Hidalgo County up to San Juan, excuse me, and all the way to Mission area. And then, there's 6 counties, so we go all the way up to Guadalupe. So
Wow.
it's a really long stretch.
Wow.
So in fact, tomorrow I go to Karnes County for a forum up there. So yeah, it's quite a drive, but I'm excited to be able to represent all the people up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
man, it's quite a drive, and it's like, wow. So you've been putting a lot of miles on your vehicle.
Oh yeah, but I'm used to driving, so no big deal.
Wow, yeah. And let me start with a picture here. Let's see, which one do I start with? You know what? Let's start with the best one here. I think this is the best one to start with. And here we go. You can't go wrong with this picture coming up. I mean, come on. There you go. The first team, right?
That's right.
Team number 1. Tell us a little bit about your hobby there.
Well, my husband's a state trooper. He's going on 5 years now. And besides a state trooper, he's also staff sergeant in the National Guard. So he kind of does both. But yeah, he worked in Pearsall for a while out there in Frio County. That's where Rosie's from. Wow. And we were there for 4 years and then moved back to the Valley.
Man. So yeah, you got a great poster, man. This is a great sign. I love it. And of course, this is your family part.
That's correct.
You come, man, big family. Look at that, little guys and big guys and a big girl.
I have four kids in total. So I have 2 girls. The oldest is in the orange shirt, and then my baby is there, and then I have 2 boys, the ones in the back, and then those 3 little ones are my grandkids, believe it or not.
Oh my goodness, no, you can't be a grandma. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. Believe it or not.
Well, you look great. Look at that. Lucas here. Hey, Bert. Bert is here. How's it going, Bert?
Hey, Bert.
Hey, man, Bert's a good guy. Hey, yeah. And so let's see what other picture we have here. Oops, that was the last one. That one just came in. All right, cool. Well, great. Well, let's see. Oh, rookie move. So let me ask you this question. Here we go. Everybody wants to know, why are you seeking public office? And I know you answered this one already in the page. So, but I tell us why. Or if you want to, you can even speak Spanish, I'll put you
Les
on the
puedo
spot.
decir en inglés o en español
Sí, ¿por qué
lo que
estás
se prefieren,
corriendo?
¿verdad?
You know, I mean,
Yeah, well,
either one, both.
a little bit of both, right? No.
Yeah, we speak bilingual because both people vote, and a lot of times, believe it or not, and I'm sure you know this, a lot of the Spanish speakers don't really get to hear a lot of you important people, do speeches because you're mostly speaking in the English language, and so they're not addressed, and so they vote however either their children kind of suggest they vote, or they vote
Yeah.
based on who they know, a name they can read, or a name they can relate to, or something like that. But sometimes the information doesn't go down all the way to them, and so hey, here's your chance.
¿Verdad que sí?
¿Verdad que
Me
sí?
encantaría decirles, ¿verdad? Lo que soy capaz, ¿verdad?
There you go.
Yeah. So look, running for Congress, was something that was in the back of my mind. Running in politics for quite a while now, but I put it on the back burner for a while since I do have a young one.
Yeah.
But this last year, and seeing everything that has gone on, and see how our nation is, I mean, it's going to ruins, quite frankly.
Yeah.
With inflation, and then illegal immigration and drugs, trafficking and human smuggling, and I mean, I could go on and on and on. And so I kind of felt like I was motivated. When the Twin Towers fell, and all those young men and women decided to go and join the military so that they could give back. That's kind of how I feel now.
Yeah.
We were hurting when the towers fell, and now we're hurting again.
Yes.
And so I want to be able to give back, and I feel like this is one way. I'm worried for my children and for my grandchildren's future.
Yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
so, yeah, we need to flip the seat. We need to take over the House and save America, pretty much.
Well, you know what? You're so right. I was reading something here not too long ago, actually a couple of days ago, and I'm going to put this bullet right in front of you. Mexican cartels are now using IDEs as well as bomb dropping drums. I mean, this is not the cartel that we used to think about. The cartel that when the Mexican soldiers would come in, or the border patrol would show up, by the Rio Grande, these guys would cower out and just take off and not decide to engage. Now they're engaging, and they're engaging without respect. They don't care anymore.
Yeah.
They don't care anymore.
IEDs, I mean, in the National Guard, my husband's combat engineer, so that's what he does. He would go out and seek out the IEDs, before the other military personnel would go in, because it's dangerous. And so, can you imagine our Border Patrol officers, the National Guard that's out there, and then our state troopers? I mean, they're putting their lives in danger. This is crazy. That it's gotten to this level.
I know, and it's like we just got to do a shout out to all law enforcement officers and Border Patrol, because you guys are doing an awesome job. And I wish your hands weren't tied up, because with this administration, you can't do your job the way you were doing it, and you're doing the best you can. And man, God bless you guys, and big old hugs and kisses from all of us, because you guys deserve much better, and really your lives are in more danger than they were even before. And I mean, I have heard stories before that every once in a while somebody would pull out a gun on them or everything, but with just a buddy there, another law enforcement agency, another Border Patrol guy, behind him, the other guys would just turn in their guns, or that kind of deal. But now that's not the way it's being played. It's like,
yeah. I visited La Jolla. Well, I mean, I used to live there. I lived there for many, many years.
Yes.
But I've gone specifically, to the border, and I've spoken to some of the Border Patrol agents, and that's what they say. We just want to be able to do our job, and we're not able to. And instead, right behind me was a big old white bus that was just waiting for the families to come across the border, and that's what he was doing, was processing. He said he processed 200 families in one night, and then his shift was up at midnight, And then the other guy came in to replace him, and he processed another 200. So can you imagine how many people are coming across our borders?
And mostly men with children. Am I right?
Yes. I mean, there are families.
Yeah, but not a lot. And all of these men with children, they're saying that their wives left them, and the wives left the kids, just kind of walked away from their kids. Now, I mean, and I've said this before, maybe 5 out of 100 women would do that, but not a large majority.
Yeah.
Here we're getting into 100, man, that all their women are walking away from the kids. Come on.
Yeah, no.
And these kids are all drugged up too.
Yeah, and these kids aren't even theirs. They borrow kids, or they bring kids across the border. They're paid to. So yeah, it's crazy what's going on out there. And then on top of it, that our current administration, the president and Harris, are doing nothing about it. So hi, Alan. They're doing nothing about it.
Hey, here's a question. Do you live in the district that you're running for?
I sure do. I live in Edinburgh. Yes, sir.
Edinburgh, Texas. Yeah. All right. And what did you do in Mexico?
Well, I actually lived there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, I have quite the story. When I was 17 years old, my dad pretty much wanted to get me out of the house. So he sent me to Monterrey, Nuevo León with some of his friends and introduced me to several different men and said, okay, you can date now. Take your pick. So I ended up marrying one of them and was married to him for 19 years and until I was able to break away. And now I love to help other women who have been in similar situations as myself, and don't think they can break away and so forth. So, but I lived over there. Monterrey is beautiful place. Yeah. But it's kind of dangerous now.
Yeah, and that's where you learned your Spanish.
Yes. So learning Spanish was fun. I didn't speak a word of it at the age of 17, but I did. I learned a little by little, and I was telling you a little story about how, some friends had told me, no, you need to ask for your hamburger there. Go to Whataburger and ask for your hamburger in Spanish. So I had my Spanish-English translator, and I put in there hamburger. And then when I told the cashier, I said, me das, and I had a really white gringa accent. Me das una hamburguesa al cabrón, por favor, instead of al carbón.
Yeah.
Yes, I made quite a few mistakes like that. People laughed at me, and I laughed with them because that's how you learn.
But you know what? You can speak the Spanish now, and that is so cool. Ahora sí se defiende.
Soy bilingüe.
Esta güerita habla español.
Hasta lo canto.
Well, yeah. You have been known to sing a little bit of Selena, como la flor.
That's right, Selena, Límite, all of those good songs.
Oh my goodness, man, this is so cool. You're gonna love our music show. We have a music show, and last night actually we had a show with Ruby Ann and Alice, and I had George George Saldivia, and some of these Tejano music stars that are coming on our show also. And so you're going to love some of those shows that we're having. Let's see here. Let's see another. Dice Rosie, good luck. We need someone that will be out there and be our voice. And that's what it's all about.
That's right.
Ain't it?
And it seems like more and more often we're sending people to Washington, D.C. that are there to become a celebrity, or they're there and they're already thinking about their next campaign, and they're not really out there representing the people. And that's what we need. And, I'm not backed by corporate America,
Right.
It's the voters. It's the people that I represent. I'm a voice for them. I'm not a voice for, big tech or corporate America, so
you owe no favors, and you can do what is needed here in the Valley. You can be the voice, because a lot of times we have career politicians that, quite frankly, if you're a politician and you are serving more than 10 years and nothing's been done in your district, it's time to pack the bags and hit the road, Jack, because you ain't doing us no good. You're not doing us any good. And so So yeah, so that leads me to my next question here. What do you hope to accomplish if elected? What will you accomplish?
Well, there's a lot of things that I would like to accomplish. And I think the most important thing right now is that we finish that wall and secure our border. And I know that Governor Abbott's doing his best right now to finish that wall. Excuse me.
Yeah,
But we got to secure our borders, and then now eventually we're going to have to deal with all these people that are here illegally. You
yeah,
know, um, but there's several other little things that I want to look into. As you know, I'm a high school administrator,
hmm,
and so I see some of the issues dealing with students and parents and so forth. And one of the things that I think we have a big lack of is resources for mental healthcare for our
okay,
students. It's crazy how many children, the number of children from 5 to 11 that have had to just go to a mental health hospital emergency room recently. And I know the pandemic has played a big part in that,
hmm,
but that, and then we have kids as young as 9 and 10 years of age that are thinking of killing themselves, committing
yes,
suicide. And
yeah,
so that is affecting the kid, their education, and
hmm,
they're unable to learn. And so I would like to introduce some sort of a bill that would, give funds to school districts so they can hire psychologists and have them in the schools, because we
right,
don't have them. We just
yeah.
don't.
Well, we have counselors, but counselors are too busy doing another job, and
Schedules and
yeah, a
yeah,
curriculum and all that, and
yeah,
it's just hard. I mean, I remember going to school and we had counselors, but I really never. I mean, we would go see the counselors because the schedule changes or stuff like that, and,
right.
and it's like, but very rarely do we use, and I don't think people, the students even see them as advisors or someone they can go talk to, and so that's so
And I
hopefully
will
the
tell
kids
you,
talk to, yeah,
yeah, yeah, and we have great counselors in our
yeah.
school, and they would love more than anything to be able to spend time helping kids, but they don't have the time. They're overwhelmed with a bunch of other things that they have to take care of. So,
Wow. Yeah. Let me share a picture here. Let me share a couple more pictures, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Let's see here. Pum, pa-dum, dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. So, tell us about this day.
yeah, that's Cecilia Abbott, Governor Abbott's wife. Governor Abbott came down. He put on a summit, and I was able to. This was when he actually announced his run for governor, that he was going to run again for governor. So it was an awesome day. Interestingly, Cecilia Abbott and I have so much in common. She was a teacher and a principal. She graduated from St. Thomas University. That's where I got my master's degree in
Wow.
administration and special education. So we have quite a bit in common. We got to talk a few minutes there and about those things. And then interestingly, Governor Abbott was the one that gave our the speech
Yeah.
at my graduation ceremony. So
Oh man, cool.
yeah,
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 that's quite an honor right there. Let's see here, and then of course here you are with Governor Abbott, and of course, oops, I went too fast with that one. Rookie move there. So there
there
you
you go.
are, both you and your husband with Governor Abbott,
Yes, my
and
husband just happened to be working that day, and but yeah, it's nice. He always has a smile, and man, his beliefs align a lot with what I believe in, and
great,
securing our border and so forth.
cool deal. And who is this gentleman here?
This
City
is the
of McAllen.
mayor. Yeah, mayor of McAllen.
There you go.
That's right. When I first started my campaign, I made an appointment to go see him. And not knowing, I had no idea where I was going or what I was getting into.
Right.
And he just gave me a piece of advice that I'll never forget. He just says, talk to all the people, talk to everybody, and be nice to everybody. And so it, even the people that you're running against. And so that's true. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that he took some time to meet with me and give me some tips.
There you are with your little one there.
That's right, little Scarlet.
Yeah, man, cool. Here, I like your hat. I like you
Yeah.
got at there.
So, that election was the best birthday surprise ever. My birthday is November 9th. So when
Wow.
Trump was elected, I woke up the next morning to, it being official. I knew it was going to happen. I knew
Right.
it in my heart, but, until I woke up the next day and he was president, I was so excited. Uh, and I have some fellow Valley friends here who are also Trump supporters and celebrated together. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this. You there's rumors, or I don't know if it's rumors or is actually something that's going to happen. There's rumors that Trump may become the next president even before election time, because the the House and the Senate are going to be won, right? You guys are going to win the House, and the thing is, after if the president cannot perform his duties, then the presidency falls to the vice president. Now,
Ooh.
if the vice president, if the vice president cannot do this duty, then the job falls upon the Speaker of the
The
House.
Speaker of the House,
Now, the
yes.
Speaker of the House is not an elected position,
Right.
and so we don't get to vote for the Speaker of the House. However, if enough of people in the House and Senate bring Trump in as the Speaker of the House, then he has the power, or following according to the Constitution and all of that. Impeachment things can go against Biden, against Harris, and guess what? He'll become the president. So he could become the 47th president.
That's crazy. And you know what? Democrats have played every trick that they've had up their sleeve to try to get rid of Trump
Yeah.
and to gain power. And, so hey, maybe it's our turn.
Well, I mean, it follows the law. It follows the law. So why not? It's good for one. It's good for the other one. Somebody says hello.
Nightbot. Hello.
Hey, Tex-Mex Churchill for Congress. Yeah.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, soy americana por fuera, pero mexicana por dentro.
There you go.
I am a Valley girl, and I grew up here, and I know the people and the way about it.
Your heart's here, and that's what matters. And that's what we need. We need somebody that's got the roots here, their heart here, because then they're going to go out there and they're going to battle for us. They're going to fight for us. They're going to speak for us.
That's right.
They're going to kick, scream, and yell for us, because we've been forgotten for so long. We have politicians that would rather raise money for the next campaign, like you're saying, rather go on trips or whatever, or whatever they do out there, they're not supposed to be doing here. And so, yeah.
Right.
So Bert says, tell us a little bit about your book.
So my book, it was part of my master's program from National University. I wrote a book of Chicano poetry.
Yeah.
So I do not have it. It's not been released to the public. I have a copy, and so does National University and their library. But it's the book is titled Borders of All Kinds, because as a teacher, I taught in La Jolla. I worked in La Jolla for 17 years. And as a teacher, I saw, I had kids that came across the border illegally, and I loved all my kids, of my kids, regardless of their status. I loved them all. And so I wrote some poems that would, that some poetry that kind of depicted what was going on. And then, other borders, when I left my ex-husband and the cult that I was raised in, I was shunned by my family.
Right.
And so that was another border that I wrote about.
Right.
So just the different, I guess you could say hurdles, but I call them borders.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
You have to go over them. You have to go past them, and it's like, that's so true, wow. So no, great. So let me ask you another question here. Let me give you another question. Let's see. Do I have it up here on flyer? Because I think I did. Okay. So what makes you the best candidate?
Some of the things that I've already said. The first thing is that I'm not backed by corporate America. I'm working for the people. I'm genuine in my reasons for wanting to go to Congress. I believe in term limits, so I'm not planning on becoming a career politician and staying there forever and getting rich.
Right.
Like those that are there. I believe that we should have term limits.
Yeah.
I want to go and get the job done.
Right.
There's and I won't be able to do everything, of course, in a term limit, but whatever I can get accomplished, my voice is your voice. So I'm the voice of the people. I'm the voice of District 15, and I believe that my experience as a high school administrator, I'm used to working under budget. I'm used to working with different staff members of all different levels, parents, students, teachers, cafeteria workers, custodians. We don't always agree on things, especially when it comes to administrators and parents.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, we negotiate, we figure something out, we make it work, we do what's best in the interest of our students. And I know that that's what I'm going to be able to do on a grander scale, in Congress. I'm going to work with Democrats. I'm going to work with Republicans that I don't always agree with. But you know what? We negotiate, we come together, and we pass bills that make sense for our people.
Right. And that's what needs to happen, because a lot of times some of the, we got some propositions coming up here as we're going to vote. I believe there's about 8 of them, and some of them, do you tell us a little bit about those propositions, or at least that are going to be voted upon in your district?
You know what? I don't have those propositions in front of me. I was looking at them earlier today because they're on the sample ballot.
Yeah.
And I read them, but I didn't. I don't memorize. I didn't memorize them by heart. So
don't worry about it. Don't worry. But a lot has to do with the reading, the way it's written. Sometimes they can make us look for or go in a different direction, and it's like so you got to really read it the right way, because it can get confusing. It's that no problem then. I didn't make a copy of it. Sorry.
I know I didn't either, and I barely saw the sample ballot today and posted it on my on my pages, and so I glanced at the propositions, but I didn't really memorize them. So
no, that's cool. No, okay. So now let me ask you this: you are an educator. You're an administrator in education at the school. And so let me ask you this: what is your position on education? What do you think needs to change here as far as education for our kids?
So looking at what's been going on and what's been popping up in the news, okay, number one, I definitely think that CRT should not be a part of our curriculum. That should be a no-no. But I do also think that parents should have a say in our children's education. And it's sad that it took the pandemic for parents to realize what was actually being taught in the classroom or what wasn't being taught in the classroom. Right. And now that they're seeing it, now they're starting, hey, no, we want change. And I've heard teachers, not necessarily in this district, but in a previous district that I worked at, I've heard her say, but I've taught this book for so many years. Right. This is what I've always done. I don't understand why parents are upset now. Yeah. And it's because they didn't know. Yeah. And so, they should have insight. They should definitely, they're stakeholders and they know what's best for their children. And as educators, we have to respect that, Right. We need to listen to them. And, there are customers per se.
Yeah. And let me ask you this: do you feel there's some things that are being taught or being hinted on should not be taught at school?
Well, so I sat in a classroom, a history classroom, not too long ago, and it just so happened that they were talking about, the voting and the importance of voting and so forth. And I'm very proud to say that our teachers in the district where I'm currently at are neutral when they discuss things like that. I do go visit classrooms for the different curriculum, the different subjects, right. And I've not seen anything that is disturbing. Right. I think Texas, especially down here, we've got a good handle on what we're teaching. once in a while there might be something, and a parent will bring it up to our
Attention,
to our attention, and then that's when we address it. But for the most part, I don't see critical race theory in the classroom, and that's the one that concerns me the most. Is critical race theory. So I don't see there's nothing, teaching students. We don't have like sex ed or anything like that. So, we're kind of, we're doing okay here in Texas so far, unlike California and some of the other states.
Oh man, I mean, some of the things that these kids are being taught is like, oh man, it's not even funny. I mean, it's like very seriously going in the wrong direction, and no wonder. I mean, we were talking about a show that a friend of ours did, and he was talking about a little girl. I'm going to say a little girl, but she's actually 17, probably 18. She had a baby, and she threw the baby in a trash bag and threw the kid in the dumpster. I think you heard about this, and this is where society is going, or our kids are going, where one, they don't have respect. And I'm not talking all of them, but there's quite a few of them that no respect. They're trying to no remorse. They're trying to get away with stuff because they're not sure of the consequences that are going to happen. They do acts without knowledge of consequences, and or they don't care. And so I don't know. It's just the world, the way it's going, and some of that has to stop. I mean, at some point we need to bring back respect, and I think yes, it starts at home, but I think it also at school that also needs to follow up at school. But again, I think parents and teachers need to work together. Administrators need to back up the teachers, and to
Most
where
definitely.
we get it back to where the teachers has some respect. There's an honor to be a teacher. There's pues a ver qué dice la maestra, instead of no, pues la maestra está loca. That kind of deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Mi Juanito no, mi Juanito es un angelito. No, usted está loca, maestra. No. And it's like there's not that even. Well, maybe Juanito was bad, and
exactly.
Yeah. And that's not there. I remember when I was a kid, I would get in trouble. My parents would go in, and my parents wouldn't take my side. My parents would take the teacher's side, or try to.
And that doesn't happen.
And that does not happen anymore.
That's not happening. And we have some really good teachers. We have. I mean, I'm very proud to say, and I've worked in several different districts, and the majority of the teachers that I've worked with are excellent teachers, and that's an issue that they have. A kid does something wrong, and it's like, no, not my kid, and we have some excellent parents out there too who know what they have, but there are a few that don't, So teachers do want that respect, and they deserve it. Yes. I mean, they work hard, and I get invites Sunday night. In fact, I'm surprised I haven't gotten one right now for meetings things that teachers are doing. I get emails all the time and invites from. They're working on the weekends,
You said, Rosie, it's not the kids. Parents have a lot to do in the kids' life. Teachers only can do so much. That is true. Teachers are trying to fix the situation, and it's hard. It's not as easy as it once was. The other thing, too, so we agree that teachers deserve respect and that teachers are doing an awesome job. Should teachers get a raise?
I think so. And so here's the big misconception.
Yes. Teachers.
Everybody says, but teachers have the summer off. So what they don't know is that teachers get paid. Yeah. It's a daily rate.
Yeah.
And so they work 186, 187 days. They multiply that by their daily rate, and then they divide that by 12 so they can have a check every month, so they can pay their bills during the summer.
Right.
They really don't get the summers off. They don't.
And I think what people think is that they're getting 3 months paid for free.
And they're not.
They've already worked those hours, but they weren't. But they're being paid now when they're not working.
Exactly. And on top of that, TEA makes teachers have a certain amount. They have to take a certain amount of trainings in order to renew their certificate.
Yeah.
And so when do they go to those trainings? In the summer. So some of these trainings are week long, so they don't really get, all that time that people are,
No, and a
people
lot
think
of
they have off.
paperwork that's added up, and start testing and all of this, and it's like, man, it's not an easy job to be a teacher, and I think they definitely need to be compensated with more pay. Obviously, they have to be good teachers, and I think we have a whole bunch of them. But there's always a couple of ones that
Yes.
are not, and those are the rotten apples that we need to kick out, or
Right.
fix them or
They give
something.
everybody else a bad name.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
you have a group, maybe, some of the teachers that we hear of in California and other places, and they do not represent the teachers of our district. I'll tell you that.
Right, right.
We have really good teachers in our district.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to be able to work with some of those teachers and to have worked with some of them in the past, so I've not known anybody like that, like those teachers in other states.
Well, great. Well, let's move on a little bit. Let's move on to the deal with the border crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked, and I know I had Christy Hutchinson here a couple of weeks ago, and before her and I were talking before the show, or like 2 days before the show, and she was in Jacksonville, California, and she said, "Look, Ray, let me tend my cell phone," and she just did one of these, and this is I'm sorry, this is Jacksonville, Florida, and there was all these guys with their envelopes. All these guys,
Yeah.
single guys, and these are not like old men. These are not guys my age. These are guys that are, army type guys that are probably like in their either from 19 to about 30, maybe 35. Well built. Like muscle guys. Healthy, strong. And they're supposedly sending them, all these guys, they're sending them to some of these Army bases or Air Force bases, Armed Force bases, and they go in there and they're secluded. And rumor has it that they're being trained for something. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not. I've not heard anything. And that's news to me. I mean, the most I've heard is about these men coming across the border and also getting envelopes here in the Valley and being sent up north. But I've not been told anything about, you know.
Well, Christy had shown me some of that, and you figure, man, what's going to happen? What's this deal? Why are these men being sent into all of these places, or why are they going up north? Are they just going to visit family? And how come we don't have any older gentlemen? How come we don't have a lot of families crossing? Because there are a couple, but not a whole lot of them. Something is fishy out there. It's when it smells like a duck, walks like a duck. Quack, quack.
Well, in this administration, this current administration that we have has done a really good job at trying to hide the truth from us. Yes. They send people in the middle of the night so that we don't know about it. They do things on low key. They don't want us to know what's going on.
Right. So. Right. But, somebody's figuring out, and somebody's, it's their mission to spread the news. And so, it's great because we need these people, because we need to be, we need to know what's going on, So, yeah, the border needs to, do you believe the border needs to be shut down and secure?
It definitely needs to be secured. We need to finish that wall. We have, man, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of all the equipment, all the supplies, the materials that are just laying there rotting right now. And even though Governor Abbott is finishing the wall, he can't touch those supplies. Yes. He can't use them. So he has to buy, we're buying elsewhere. Right. It's just, but those things have already been paid for, and yet we can't touch them. So we need to secure the border, first of all. We need to provide resources, manpower to our Border Patrol, and give them the things that they need, the technology that they need. They needed lighting. They need a lot of stuff out there that they currently don't have. And I mean, hey, they're doing a heck of a job with what they have right now.
Cool. Now let me ask you this question, because a lot of people say, "Hey, well, the border should be open because we're open, we're America, and we welcome everybody." Now, what's the big deal? Why create the fence? Why build the fence? What does that do?
It deters illegal immigration. So we are a nation, a melting pot, as they call it. We love people to come in from other parts of the world. That's not the issue.
Right.
The issue is we want people who are legal. We want people that are going to be contributing citizens.
Yes.
That we don't want criminals. We don't want drug traffickers. We don't want people that are going to come here and have to depend on the government to be able to eat or to be able to live. And right now, our taxpayer dollars are giving people money, vouchers, so that they can, buy and cell phones, money for food and whatnot.
Right now they're getting, I believe, about $600 or $1,200. They're getting health insurance or health care. They're getting whatever else they need. I mean, we should all just become illegal aliens and come across the border. We'll probably, we don't have to work or anything. We're getting paid,
what about our veterans, right? What about our veterans?
Our veterans need hospitals.
Homeless.
The Valley needs a veterans hospital. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
And
we have a lot of veterans.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you've lived here in the Valley for years, and I'm sure the promise of building a veterans hospital has been out there for at least the last 10 years. Am I right? Would it be safe for me to say that the Veterans Hospital has been promised for the last 10 years?
Yeah, and nothing's happened.
Y nada. No ha pasado nada. Nothing has happened. Not even plans to build something. Right. I could say, okay, it took 3 years, but now we have the property. It takes another 2 years. Okay, we have the materials. Okay, next another year. Okay, we're starting to, the structure is trying to build. Okay, this guy got something accomplished, but it's been more than 10 years and no nos han dado nada.
That's true.
I mean, come on. You go to office, you run for Congress, you run for representative, you run for whatever, you go to DC, and yes,
se les
olvida. Las cosas no van a pasar mañana, pero siquiera para el siguiente año que pase algo.
At least start moving. Yeah. At least start moving things that way.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, when is the Valley going to get a veterans hospital? I mean, I know you can't say, okay, if elected, I'll have it here next week, but,
right.
But the thing is,
but it's something I can push for.
Will you be one of those that is going to be there fighting for that to happen?
Hey, I'm pro-veteran, and my husband served in Afghanistan, and some of his colleagues have come back. They came back with PTSD, and they needed help, and unfortunately, one of them took his own life. Because the help wasn't there. We need help. We need to have a place for our veterans to go to, even those who don't need help for PTSD, just have, need medical care and attention. And so I would definitely be on board with pushing for that.
Right. Well, great. Because I know the veterans would definitely, the veterans, I know we had a memorial, the last Memorial Day, we had a Memorial Day service here on Talk Show Central RTV style. And it was, I know Myra Flores came on, but nobody else came on. And then we had a couple of soldiers that came on, or a couple of veterans that came on, and it was, quiet, very respectful, dun, da, dun, dun, da, dun. That was played. I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called.
Yes, anyway, I know.
It was very respectful, and it honored them and the whole bit. And that was a story. A lot of it, there was a story. There's this guy, Richard Castillo. He was really, really involved in putting the show together with me. And that's what they were talking. Man, we need a voice. Myra started talking, and she's, she's, man, I want to do whatever I can to help you guys. That's and they were going, thank you. We need somebody to listen to us. We need somebody to help us out. And you're talking about grown veterans. You think of those guys as solid, strong, macho. Macho in a good way. But it's like, but man, you could feel tears coming down their cheeks, where they just being beat up, and nobody's taking care of them.
They sacrifice so much for us, yes. and then for them to, they need to just go to the doctor and they can't, or it's too expensive. So yeah, most definitely.
Pero sí estos estos que están cruzando la frontera, they get
Todo les dan.
everything. Todo les dan. I don't care how expensive it is, they're getting it.
That's right.
And
That's
it's
right.
like, wow, you know, I mean, that's a
That
slap in
shows
the
you-
face on the veterans.
Yep, that shows you where the priorities are for our current administration, and that is why a lot of people here in the Valley. That's why we're going to flip this district red, because people traditionally vote Democrat. They're seeing what's happening. They're seeing what's happening, what's not happening, and so yeah, most definitely.
And look at this one. This is Bert. Why, as Republicans, do veterans have to beg for money from public, yet Planned Parenthood gets millions from the federal government, and Democrats que onda?
Yeah, and so they give money to go kill babies.
Yeah.
They get money to kill babies, and yet here our veterans are having to beg all the time, and it shouldn't be that way. We need to figure something out for our veterans, and it breaks my heart every time I see one on the side of the street begging. And I've lived in Houston and San Antonio, and I've seen it all over, and they're not being paid attention to, and their voice isn't being heard.
Wow, cool. Well, let me ask you this. Let's see. No, I think we're fine. Oh, let me show you another picture, and kind of break a little bit here. Let's see here. Let's go with this one here. And I know you've been doing a lot to get your name out there and the whole bit. So tell us about this right here.
All right. So that was at Hidalgo County GOP. And we all the candidates had an opportunity to be able to, record about 2 minutes. And I believe it's going to be turned into a commercial, if I'm not mistaken. And we're anxiously waiting for that to come out. I don't know exactly when it's going to come out. I know when Jimmy was on the other day, he had a picture similar to this as well.
Yes.
So yeah. I haven't heard. I think they were making sure they gave everybody an opportunity to do that recording, and with people's schedules and so forth, it's taken some time.
Well, I'm hoping it comes to life. Okay, this is that. This is you. Very pretty there. And of course, I'm just going to go through all the pictures. We saw them already, and there we go. We saw that one. We saw that one with the mayor. Here you are with your little one and your hubby. There you are wearing "Make America Great Again." Here you at the park somewhere.
Yeah.
And there you go again. Oh, I guess you were posing for your beauty model shot or something.
Yeah, right. Actually, that was David Saldana. He works for RGV Athletes, and he took those pictures for me.
Took pictures of you here.
Yeah.
All right, cool deal. And there you are with your hubby at some event. I see a lot of uniforms in the background. So is that some military function there?
Yes, it was a Christmas party. We haven't had one for probably 3 years or so.
Wow.
COVID obviously hasn't allowed us to have one.
Right.
And so, yeah, that was some time ago. I always enjoy going to those events.
Yeah.
And that was actually when my husband graduated from trooper school, the academy. Wow. To be a trooper.
Yeah, cool deal. Well, great, man. These are great pictures that you sent me. Well, let me ask you this. We've talked about education. We talked about the border crisis. We've talked about veterans. Let's see. What else can we talk about that the audience might want to know? How about healthcare?
Okay, so I know that when Trump was president, that was one of the things that Republicans tried to do, and it just didn't happen. And I really think that healthcare should be in the hands of us. We should have control over our healthcare. I should be able to choose the plan I want and the doctor that I want to go to, because we saw what happened with Obamacare when he promised, he promised that you would keep your doctor and this and that, and that didn't pan through. And so I just believe less government is more.
Yes. Let
So,
the experts do what they do, and let the
right.
other way around. And I think that was part of the situation with COVID. They didn't let the experts do their thing, and it got political. And now we have this with a mask thing, no mask, yes mask, shot or no shot, and it's like,
Exactly.
I
And
mean,
speaking of the vaccine, I mean,
yes,
just now my husband is being told that he has to get vaccinated before June, or they will discharge him from the National Guard.
wow,
So yeah, it's kind of sad that it's coming down to that. A lot of people have already been discharged because of that mandate. A lot of healthcare workers have lost their jobs. These are the people that we called our heroes all this time,
right,
and now because they don't get a vaccine, all of a sudden they're bad people and they lose their jobs.
yeah.
You know?
Well, the
And
thing is, they want to control us. It's about control, and it's like
yes,
it's definitely
sheep.
about control.
They want us to be their sheep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Another
it's
thing is I don't know if you were going to ask about this or not, but in regard to the Second Amendment,
yes,
I'm definitely, we do anything that we can to protect our Second Amendment
yeah.
rights.
Don't mess with Texas guns.
That's right. That's right. And I heard, I read that there is actually a digital copy of people who are registered gun owners,
Hmm.
and Congress allowed it to happen, and they have that database.
Wow.
So, like, what are they going to use that database for?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, these are Pamela. Vaccines should not be mandated. I agree,
Right.
Pamela. Good. You're so smart. No, no,
And
it's so true.
and we're pro-vaccine.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
kids are all vaccinated.
yeah.
Being in the military, my husband's got every vaccine underneath the moon that
Right,
they've
right.
required of him. But this is such a new vaccine.
Yeah,
We don't really know the long-term effects.
yeah.
So
And it's not a vaccine. It's not a
no, it's
vaccine.
not.
It's not
No.
a vaccine. They call it a vaccine, but it's not really, according to the health medical journals or encyclopedia. It's not a vaccine.
Right, right.
And
A
so
vaccine will actually, excuse
introduce
me,
the
give you
virus in.
immunity.
Yeah,
When kids got vaccinated against polio, they never got polio.
right.
People are getting this vaccine against COVID, and guess what? They're getting COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
So it doesn't stop them from getting it. It doesn't stop them from spreading it. So why make it mandatory?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Dice Pamela, I'm not pro-vaccine, but it should be our choice. Yeah, but it should
Correct,
be our
Pamela.
choice.
It
Definitely,
should be.
it should be our
And we
choice.
should respect each other's choices.
Yes,
If
yes.
I have several colleagues that have chosen to get the vaccine, and that's their choice, and I'll
Yeah,
respect it. But
yeah.
I also want to be respected for not getting it.
Right. Exactly. True. So yeah. So great. Well, let me ask you this. Oh yeah, and Pamela says she agrees. Totally, totally. So, any last words? We're at 53 minutes. We don't want to go too long because we want people to repeat, to view this whole show all over again. What? Any last words before we break here?
I thank you for the opportunity, to be able to present myself and let people get to know me a little bit better. I know I have a lot of students out there. Hopefully, they get a chance to see this. But I had a rough upbringing. It wasn't
Right.
easy. I was told that I was, not smart, that I couldn't go to college, that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Married off into a cult for 19 years. And
Wow.
then at the age of 37, I broke away from that and decided to make something of myself. Now I have 2 master's degrees. I'm a high school administrator, and now I'm running for Congress. And so I know my determination, my desire is, to help people. It's genuine. It's out there.
Mhm.
That's what I do. I serve people. I serve other people,
Right.
and so that's what I look forward to doing in Congress.
Excellent, excellent. And you're a success story. And when people are success stories, that's all they can do is be successful. They're going to do the best they can to bring success to whatever situation they're at. What you see, okay, oh, okay, hold on. Says, hey, who would you see to do a better job as governor?
Good question. Well, I mean, look, I see what Governor Abbott's doing now. He's finishing the wall.
Right.
I don't know Alan West and some of the others as well as I know the governor. I know what the governor wants to do. I agree with what he
Right.
wants to do as far as completing the wall. I know it has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've listened to his platform, and I agree with what he has to say. So I have to say right now, I'm going to say Governor Abbott.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I'm not open to hearing or listening to other
Right.
people, because that's what we do as responsible voters. We listen to the different platforms, we listen to what people want to do,
Yeah.
and then we make our choice. We make our decision.
And that is so right, because this is why we do this show, because our viewers, should have the right to see the candidates, hear them out, hear their heart, hear their passion. And this is one of the things I told you. I don't want you coming in and telling us, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic. Okay, vote for me. I'm this and this. I'm red, white, and blue. Go, 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 go. No,
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who you are, the real you, your passion, your heart for how you're going to serve the people. And that's because that's how we're voting. I mean, we want to vote for one of our guys. We want to vote for one of our, in our case, one of our ladies, as somebody that understands us. And hey, you live here. No nomás porque la miren güerita, no crean que ella no comprende. Ella comprende el valle. Ella fue criada aquí. Y
Así es.
y habla lenguaje. Ella va a tratar de hacer lo mejor para ustedes. So, el voto de ustedes la va a poner en la Casa Blanca.
Así es, así es. Es que yo me siento, no sé, cuando vivía allá en San Antonio, en otras partes, no era igual como el Valle. El Valle es mi casa. Aquí es donde yo crecí. La gente de aquí es no sé, como familia, como mi familia. Y yo quiero lo mejor para el Valle.
There you go. Vote Churchill for Congress. Si se puede. Pamela says, you got my vote. There you go.
Thank you, Pamela. Thank you,
So
Rosie.
great. Yeah. So hopefully this show has brought a little bit of light here to Vangela Churchill. And hopefully some of you that were not thinking about her might consider her now. Maybe some of you were aiming to vote for in another direction. Maybe now you have changed your mind and will decide to vote Churchill for Congress. And in our town, it's who you know to put in office, but you don't work that way. But it don't work that way. It's what you are going to do for us. What have you done for me lately has to be the question. You have a friend that you're going to vote for that's not Vangela Churchill. Ask that person, what have you done for us lately?
Yeah.
Exactly. And we put it to the test. I mean, veterans hospitals at least have been promised for at least the last 15 years. Because surely the name veteran did just not happen, 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
We've had veterans for 20 years. Yeah. And still nada. Los pobrecitos, I remember stories when I was little. Veterans had to drive to San Antonio and Houston to get help.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so imagine if the veteran has kids and the kids are working, how in the world is that old gentleman or even lady going to travel to San Antonio or Houston on their own where they can't drive anymore? Are they going to take the bus? Are you going to send your grandma on the bus? Whoever's out there in the White House? I don't think so.
Right.
And so we need to build a hospital here in the Valley for all our beloved veterans. So yeah, great.
That's right. That's cool. Right. And pro veteran, pro God, pro police, pro border patrol, pro family. There you go.
You can't go wrong. A vote for Churchill. A vote for Churchill is a vote for the Valley.
That's right. That's right. Putting the Valley's interest first. The District 15 first.
Super, super cool. Oh, one more comment. Let's see. Let me get it here. Dice, will you be donating your paycheck like Trump?
That's funny. Hey, if I had the money that Trump had, I would. To be honest, it's not about the salary. It's not about the money that you make. Obviously, I would have to have money to cover my traveling and
Right,
everything. But it's not. It's really not about that, because if it was about that, I wouldn't want term limits.
right.
You know.
Yeah, and in the end, you're basically giving up a couple of years of your life here.
That's right.
Because hey, you're giving up maybe birthday parties, maybe you're giving away ways that you can attend, maybe you're giving away certain meetings or certain fiestas, just with the family, because you will be busy in office, or you
That's
will
right.
be in meetings, or you will be here, or you'll be there, or you'll be traveling. And so
I'd be working hard for sure.
Yeah, definitely,
It's not going to be an easy job,
No.
but somebody has to do it.
There you go. So cool. Well, VANGELA CHURCHILL for Congress. Hey, we love you. We wish you the best. Thank you for coming. Thank you for
having
us
me
with your presence. And
Yes.
we wish you the luck. Talk
Thank you, and thank you for
wishes you the best.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that's watching.
All right,
well.
I'm gonna put you backstage, and we're gonna end the show. All right.
Awesome.
Cool deal. So, guys, this is Royal with Talk Show Central RTV Style, and we leave you with some music.